Um, this thing in regards of the Anabaptist and promoting feminism and all that got me thinking in regards of the whole, and of course the Antichrist. And remembering back in regards of the cunning tactics of the Catholics, or the Romanists, the Papists, working for the, I need help on this because I'm in the direction of, I want to find out more in regards to their tactics, because I think I've, pretty much have been, what shall we say, I've been, that these tactics have been used against me. And I remember that was Alberto Rivera, and I'm still having my concerns about him. But I must say, there was some interesting information from for sure from him, and it's. But I think he talked about some of the cunning tactics of the Catholics, and I do wonder if there's actually more information on that. But of course, we know if you put up Jesuit, it's cunning, it's deception, it's slick. They have all their ways and all that. That's the Jesuits. And I know he talked about the Jesuits in some of his magazines. I got a lot of attacks when I had these publications, and there was a lot of in regards to the occult and the New Age and all that. And I already knew I came out from the occult, so I thought at that point that I was cursing myself by having these magazines. But I was looking for something to give out to people, so I pretty much got a big order of the chick small things, but they are depicting God, and they are promoting the doctrine of going directly to heaven when you die, which I don't find in the Bible. But in any case, and I know the best, what shall we say, the best opposition is controlled opposition. As far as I see it, there's a lot of controlled opposition out there. Now, in regards of, I'm not sure in regards of, I'm not going to, but I have my, in any case, it ended up, I read everything that I got from Czech publication, and I pretty much threw it out because I was, demonically attacked at that point. And I thought maybe I'm cursing myself, and I actually stopped after. Well, I had an issue that I was like, what is going on here? I've never had the, what shall we say, the to do the thing that I was like, this is, am I cursing myself? And I ended up throwing all of the things out, and actually stopped this thing. And I was like, what was going on here? That's just weird. So, don't take a cursed item into your home and all that. And, the best tactic for Satan getting things into the people's, houses would, of course, be to control the opposition, to look like they are actually in opposition to. But again, there's still a lot of material that is, so I'm that is actually seemingly good and correct. So I talked with it's just. But I do wonder in regards of the cunning tactics of these Jesuits and the Catholics, and we know they are cunning, and we know they are, there's a lot of educated people out there, and all taking everything into consideration. But of course, people will just say, it's just conspiracies and all that. Well, the Protestants didn't think that it was conspiracy. They read the Bible, and they found out that it was pointing down to Rome. And of course, the Antichrist in regards to the beast being the so-called Pope, so-called Holy Father. Jesus said, don't call anyone on Father on this earth. there's only one Father and He's in heaven, and yet, you know, you have this man down in Rome, you know, who is the worldly Caesar, Roman Caesar, and Pontifex Maximus, the high priest, the pagan high priest, if I remember correctly. You can go look that, you know, pagan, yeah, they still use the title Pontifex Maximus and all that. But I was thinking, if anyone have some information, I have to recheck in regards of some of the information that I read in the past, because I'm seeing, what shall we say, I'm getting more experience. I've talked with a lot more Catholics and I've seen which looks like to be some of the tactics. And it seems like there's this tactic of saying, you know, that you are, you know, promoting hate speech, and that you, and I actually think that Alberto, which was said to be a former Jesuit, I think he actually talked about that doctrine. And now that I have a little more experience, I could be wrong in regards of, again, I'm still having my concerns about Alberto. And I'm still concerned about the having, you know, these things at home. Because it seemed like it cursed me. At least I was attacked a lot demonically. So... But they have, you know, I've took like, for example, and in regards of bullying, or if there's a Christian congregation, they can, you know, send wolves in sheep clothing into it and make a story out of it and destroy things from the inside. I know Alberto talked about that as well. And he talked about the Jesuits exposing a lot of their... But there's so much information out there, not only from... There's from the Protestants that knew about things. There's a huge amount of material out there. And I do wonder, there must be some kind of, you know, more information about these things from standard Protestant sources exposing these when they knew a lot more. And of course we have a lot of, you know, but I'm thinking about the tactics in this, you know, ecumenical world, you know, as far as I know or understand it, the ecumenical movement is in regards to the Jesuits. I know we have Jesuits in Denmark as well, and I've talked with some Catholics in Denmark as well. Also got things deleted and all that from that, and actually was cast out that group. There's a lot of Christian groups that I've been by the way, it seems like the things in regards to the feminist things was deleted. So I know that this guy that I talked about also had something in regards of university. He was educated and all that. I do wonder if it was a Jesuit thing. Of course he wouldn't. He wrote me back that, you know, in regards of taking the video down. And, you know, because, but, you know, I don't think it's illegal in any case. If anyone wants to, you know, make a video about me, you know, they're allowed to do it. Isn't this a free speech, free world in regards to speaking? Isn't that, you know, that's the whole idea, isn't it? That we have free speech, you know, we may not agree with other people, but, you know, that's the whole idea of a free society, right? That we have the speech to speak freely. But you know, I was writing here Alberto on Catholic bullying tactics, because I think there's like bullying tactics. There's the hate card thing, where they will use the hate card. Oh, you're a hater, you know, you're hating, and you know this and that, and you're not a Christian. And I think Alberto actually also wrote about that this was a doctrine of them to use, if, you know, to get Christians into line if they were going outside, you know, the Catholic, what do you call it? So, but again, I still have the problem with, for example, that these magazines, the chick publication things, was promoting going directly to heaven, which I don't think is biblical, and depicting God in their magazines. So That was at least 2 issues I had. But yeah, if anyone wanted to get anything in regards of the Chick publications, I would get, you know, Alberto had a lot of information for sure. And exposing the system. So if he was, I still have the issue, because I have one of these where he, you know, he could have been controlled opposition, you know, giving some information but be controlled opposition. And again, I don't know. You know, he was, you know, in regards of it's I having my difficult with it. But he had, in regards of the tactics of the Catholics, he was talking about that, how they did things. And I must say, because he himself was, according to himself, was one of these, you know, infiltrators. So, and he did for sure, you know, awake a lot of people in some sense that have, you know, we have just been lulled, or what do you call it, lulled to sleep in some sense. So it did awaken people to see that there's something wrong for sure, and begin to research. And we have a lot of books out there because the Protestants knew about it. And we can just turn back to the Protestants again, as probably mountains of books out there that we have no idea exist, because we have been, you know, because the Catholics have been very effective. And we now think that the Catholics are true Christians. That's another thing, you know. I think in regards of Walter Martin as well, in regards of his book, he had absolutely some good information. But again, if you are, you know, if you are a wolf, you have to give out good information to lure people into it. And in regards of the book of the cult that he made, there's nothing about, you know, I haven't read it from, you know, first page to the last page, but there's not a subject in regards to Roman Catholicism. There's in regards, and I haven't heard any other out there reading the book to actually finding anything in regards to Roman Catholicism. Actually, it seems to actually he's promoting it, and some of the doctrines that are clearly true, as from my point of view, he's actually making doubt in regards to that. And then he thinks we're going directly to heaven. It seems he's promoting the doctrine of going directly to heaven when we die as well. And it just seems more like a Catholic deception. Well, if we can't make them believe that they are going into purgatory, which is not below, it's actually upwards. You know, if we can't make them believe that they are going to purgatory, well, at least let us make them believe that they are going directly to heaven after they die, or going directly to hell after they die. And again, heaven and hell doctrine seems to be a pagan doctrine, not a biblical doctrine. And I'm probably, I'll just take some on here, because if my camera flips and all that, just to be modest in some sense, I still have things on and all that, so that's not big a problem. But anyway, just so nothing happens on that account, we don't want to have anything lewd or anything in regards to that. But anyway, so we have The Kingdom of the Cult by Walter Martin, and also Ravi Zacharias. And I remember this video, you can see it on YouTube, where Zacharias, which is the nowadays modern editor of the book, and you know, he's getting this question about the Catholic Church, and he starts out saying, well, I'm not going to, what shall we say, go around the question, but that was exactly what he did. So he started out saying, you know, I don't want to seem like I'm going around the question, and I'm not going around the question. And yeah, he was going around the question. And I didn't understand why he would feel like he's, you know, he was set in the, what you say, the burning, boiling water in some sense and all that. I was like, you know, what are you know, why does he have That would seem strange to me. So again, we know that the Catholic Church, well, the Catholic Church, the worst enemy for the Catholic Church are, of course, the true Christians reading the Bible. That's the whole idea of the Catholic Church. They didn't want to let us read the Bible. They wanted that, that snake in their hand again, like a staff. That's a quotation from that. That wicked snake or something like that. They think it's, they want it under their control again. So I was, I know that Alberto was against Walter Martin. He said that Walter Martin was on the Jesuit, what shall we say, that they could, he was on where the Jesuits could go to him if they needed anything. So again, we are warned about wolves in sheep clothing, and it is very mysterious that you have a book about the kingdom of the cult and you don't have any words on the Catholic Church. You have major cults and religions covered in this, this big work of the cults. You have the Baha'i faith, Buddhism, Christian Science, Eastern religions, Islam, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormonism, the New Age cult, the Theosophical Society. I think that's in regards to the UN as well, but again, it's all going back to Rome as far as I understand it. It doesn't matter if it's the European Union or the United Nations, it's in regards to this worldwide government. I would think in regards of NATO maybe as well. Probably, Rome seems to control everything, but that would be prophetic as well. So all these three groups. But anyway, the unit is something to do more research on it. But anyway, if you go to the United Nations things they have in regards to publications, it's Lucifer Trust. It's called Lucy Trust now, but it's Lucifer Trust. Who is Lucifer? Well, Lucifer is a word for Satan. Anyway, and they are promoting their satanic doctrines. Unification, there's also in regards of, the law of man instead of the law of God, in regards of, what is it called? I can't remember. Anyway, Unitarian Universalism and more. So he says there's a lot of things in it. And he says, Ravi Zacharias, which, maybe I should take a, maybe I can make a, a camera on for, there we go. Let's see here. So here is Dr. Walter Martin. And here we have Ravi Zacharias. And this is the page that was around the book. I'm not sure what it's called. This, something I think it's usually just to take it and throw it in the trash. But it has some information, and it talks about actually being in regards of all the Christian cults out there as well. In regards of what is true Christianity and all that, and yet it doesn't have Catholic. It doesn't have Romanism in it. Why doesn't it have Romanism in it? Again, Walter Martin did make something in regards to the Catholic Church, and I'm not sure if he actually, you have to make some bait to get people to hook on you, right? But I actually have it over here so you can see it if you want to look it up for yourself. This is one of three sources that I know in regards of the Catholic churches or the Catholic Church where it has been. There's a lot more information, but it's like where the information has been removed. Here we go. It's called The Roman Catholic Church in History by Walter Martin. And it goes to chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 4. I'm not sure if I can turn it on. Nope. So these you can search on YouTube if you want to. That was actually Walter Martin writing in regards to the Catholic Church, writing a lot of things that seems to actually be true. Yet the question is, just because he promotes truth doesn't mean that there's not an agenda behind it. We know the Jesuits, in regards to their work, infiltrating, looking like the real thing, yet not really, being Christians. So let's see here. So it talks about also, in regards to the book of the cults, So if you know, that's I've just downloaded them to listen to them again. It was very hard to actually get. And one of the CA Answers TV that has a lot of videos. Oh, I can't remember what he's called, but you know, he knows a lot of things. He has a lot of things also on the Romanism and all that. And he made it available because, you know, in the beginning I was researching this and I couldn't understand. Other people found out that there wasn't these, and I found weird things in regards of Walter Martin as well that seemed a little, you know, peculiar and all that. In any case, overall, I found out that, you know, I heard this book didn't exist, that there was didn't exist, but then I heard something in regards of this booklet, I think it's called, a booklet, I think was the right word. You know, not a big book, but a booklet, you know, smaller. And I was like, okay, so it actually does exist. And I was trying to get it and all that, but I couldn't find it on Amazon. I found out it existed, but it was very hard to get. And yet I found out one of the guys that was actually taking over the ministry, I think it was actually lying about it. And, you know, so I was very interested of getting the source. So the source is out there for everyone to look at in regards of that book that Walter Martin actually wrote in regards of Romanism. So he actually did write about it. I'm not sure in regards of what year and all that. And but in regards to the kingdom of the cults, now completely updated. Well, why don't they update it with Romanism? Why is there nothing about Romanism in it? Isn't it curious? You know, it talks about, let's see here, in an era of rapid cult growth worldwide, Christians today more than ever need a trustworthy information contained in the kingdom of the cults. That's the book. This comprehensive new edition equips readers from both academic and lay perspectives to understand and use biblical truth to counter efforts of apparent religious groups often viewed as mainstream Christians. Yet Catholicism is not found in there. And I would think that that's actually the most dangerous group out there compared to anything. You know, that's the whore of Babylon, you know, led by the Antichrist. So anyway, so why wouldn't there be anything? And actually, and I, you know, if I read the book, I could probably find more. But the thing is, the more you grow in the Bible, the more mosquitoes you end up killing. The easier it is to, you know, when you hit into something that seems odd, and you know that's not really so. You know, it has about Mohammedanism and yet nothing about Romanism. And, you know, I was thinking in regards of Ravi Zacharias, a very intelligent man, but again, you know, the wolves are very intelligent and very well educated. But I'm thinking, why couldn't he actually, if he put more information in this book, why couldn't he just put more information about the Catholic Church? Why are they silent about the Catholic Church? Why is it okay to, you know, to what shall we say, expose so many other, you know, religions, which, you know, in some sense Mormonism and Jehovah's Witnesses is probably like peanuts compared to the Catholic Church. Now Mohammedanism, of course, is big. Alberto said that Mohammedanism actually was created by Rome, which wouldn't be a surprise, both biblical and. But I'm still, you know, that is a lot. It's like, you know, it's like Romanism and Mohammedanism is just two sides of the same coin in some sense. But Mohammedanism is the tail and Rome is the head. In any case, completely updated for the 21st century. Yeah, don't talk about Rome. You know, oh, Rome, ecumenical movement moving back to the Antichrist. So I'm thinking maybe I should find more information in regards of the cunning tactics of the Catholics, because it seems to be very, very, very cunning, as Alberto himself talked about. And I'm thinking, Alberto should have known or knew apparently about these things, it seems. So I'm thinking maybe there's more sources out there. Maybe he has made some book or something like that in regards of exposing more of that. So you have some sense, of course, reading the Bible is also good as well. But, so you have some more discernment for what is going on when people actually put the hate card on you, or, these different tactics that they use. And the hate card is something that the Jews, of course, use the hate card as well. So that's not, but in regards of the Christians, oh, you are, a hater, and, you shouldn't hate it, you're Christian, and blah, blah, blah. And I just remember back that I think that was actually exactly what Alberto said in regards to these tactics. Oh, you don't love, and you shouldn't hate your brothers, and this and that. And yeah, I think that was one of the tactics that he talked about. And of course, at that time when I read it, that's years ago and all that, I didn't really have that much experience. And I'm getting more experience digging into the things. And we are sleeping. We are totally sleeping. No, people don't know anything. The Christians are sleeping, totally sleeping. We're just returning. The Christians are returning to Rome. It's just, what are you, guys, people, brothers, sisters, read the Bible. It's pointing to the hall. Why are we running back to the hall of Revelation and the beast in the book of Daniel? Well, actually, both. Yeah, it's pretty much the beast of Daniel and the beast of Revelation, actually. And the little horn, persecuting the saints. Those that keep the commandments, keep God, protect the commandments of Jehovah, and the testimony of Jesus Christ. So, and we are promoting these Christ Mass and Easter, and I have no idea, in our days where we have so much information and things are growing for sure, but we also have to have, what shall we say, we also have to have some zealousness for the truth. If we just deny the truth every time it comes around, we'll not get hooked on it. And that's, we really need to get hooked to it. And the more the better, the more the merrier in some sense. I'm not sure if that is a good... But I was thinking maybe some of you out there, if you see the video, actually have some more intense information about the cunning deceptions that the Jesuits and the Romanists, the Papists, are using, how they infiltrate us, how they use sneaky, ways of closing us down and closing the truth down, because it has apparently been very effective. Now, of course, I wouldn't trust the shepherds behind the podium, or what is it called, I wouldn't trust them at all, Look at what is going on. Why would you ever trust anyone on the podium these days? Read the Bible for yourself and be careful of Paulus. Shaul, he was a Roman Pharisee, And Jesus warned us about a wolf in sheep clothing. In any case, just be careful. And, study the Bible. Like, for example, pagan satanic evolution. 82%, as far as I know from an article, and also there's a picture as well where it pretty much fits with around 82% in Denmark believes in satanic pagan evolution as truth. We have more information than we had for hundreds of years in regards to this subject, and yet people believe in this falsehood. we have so much evidence that the world is only around 6,000 years, that things fit with the Bible, that we had a worldwide flood where everything was wiped out except Noah and 8 people, 8 people in total, and the animals on the boat. It's just, we have so much science, so much evidence for these things, and yet we're still, we're still deceived by Satan. We need to wake up. We need to stand on the truth because, the world will hate us for doing that. But should not be a concern, should it? We should just stand on truth because it's the truth. And the truth is very valuable. It's, really valuable. It's, I don't understand how people can actually, in their right mind, know that they are promoting things that are deceptions and lies and yet continue to do it. Give them over to Satan and just do his will. And it's just so deceptive, and that, fixing it with, even with a Christian glimmer, In regards to the webpage, by the way, in regards to the Anabaptist site, after I made the video, he wrote me back in regards he didn't want the video there in regards to the guy. As far as I know, I didn't do anything illegal, and we have to talk about things and all that. So, the second thing is that the administrator apparently closed the feminist things down after I made the video. I wasn't kicked out, so that's that's nice. At least some, So, but it's the same thing. The hate card. You're not a Christian, or you are a hater, or And of course, I made the video because I don't think I'm hateful. I can be a lot more hateful if I'm not hating. If you want to see me hate, that's a whole. I'm talking in a pretty I think soft voice in some sense. I'm just telling the truth, but of course, people trying the best that I can, at least telling the truth, and people see that as hate, or they pull the hate card. And again, maybe they're trained to do that. Oh, you're not a Christian, or you shouldn't put forward hate and all that. And again, I think Alberto talked about that, so that again would be a confirmation again in regard. I'm seeing the things. I still have issues with him. I still have, but it's very hard because one of the videos that is with him, and he's talking with this Lutheran priest, and he's getting into this thing where it's just, I don't understand why he couldn't just show that he, this guy is apparently coming to ask him to read something in Latin, and yet he won't do it. And we all have our small issues here and there, and maybe that was just I don't know, but it is curious, I think, that he wouldn't actually do it. But yet then he having so much information that he had, it's very hard to conceive the idea that he would be a fake, in regards of all the information that he had. There was something in regards of his article. I think it was it like a Spanish article that verified him, but it came from Rome, he said. But again, I'm just still aware that in regards of opposition, controlled opposition is always better than not controlled opposition. If you can control the opposition, you can control what is going out. If you are the head of the opposition and you control it, you can control what is going out there. So, but in any case, there's a lot of books for sure in regards to the Protestants that protested against the system. So it just seems like, we having the focus on the Jehovah's Witnesses and focusing on the Mormons, for example. That would be probably the two, it's not, I've talked with Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons and the SDA, a Seventh-day Adventist. And it's like we're, focusing, instead of focusing on the Catholic Church, we're then focusing on all the rest. Now, of course, we have our different areas of going out and speaking the truth and all that. But I think the most deceptive group is the Catholics. That's the papists, in regards to the papacy, and and the preachers don't even, if you want to know the truth, just in regards of Luther, for example, because in Denmark, for example, we have a Lutheran church, they say, but the Lutheran shepherds, which stands in the podium, doesn't seem to know who the Antichrist is. And I'm like, okay, this is a Lutheran church, and you don't know who the Antichrist is? Okay, that has to be the how can you not know? Luther, if anyone, was really speaking loud about this, and he was really good at, I must say, I think he's pretty rough in his words, and I wouldn't, but, he's pretty clear who he believes is the Antichrist and who the Bible, points to. And of course, we don't only have his witness, we have like all the Protestants coming together to protest against it. And now the so-called Protestants running back to that doesn't make sense, That's absolutely does not make sense. So anyway, if anyone has some good information in regards of the cunning ways of the Catholics, now of course I'm learning and I'm thinking of actually seeing if there is information from Alberto from a book instead of a cartoon, so I don't get all these pictures of trying to depict God in any magazine, or at least to see if there's more, getting to learn something and check it out in regards of the Catholics. Of course, in Denmark we have the Jesuit church, the Jesuits in Copenhagen. There is a school which I could go to and ask questions, I like asking questions, That's if I'm getting in the mood, if I'm getting in the flow, I'm really, good at asking questions. That's what I like to do, and I want to know the truth. That's also in regards to the murderer, the sodomy murderer, flesh eater. I think he became a brother in Christ, He's talking with this conviction, and he couldn't save himself. He was going to, sit in jail, or I can't remember if he actually was set for the death row. But he had killed people. He was a sodomite. He was eating people as well. He was really into, but he was believing in evolution. He repented. I think it's a great testimony from him. He was a murderer. He had done a lot of bad things for sure. But God can forgive. God can forgive. He didn't know any better. He didn't know about creation. He just knew about evolution. And believing in evolution makes a lot of... What is wrong with people? Well, it's because we're teaching our children that they are animals, and it doesn't really matter, the strongest survives and all that, You don't think it has an effect on our children, what we put into their vessel in regards of information? People are out of their mind in these days, This satanic world is just over the top. And no one speaks out about it. And when you speak out about it, these tactics of, hate speech, or hate speech, that's one of them. In regards of feminists as well. Hate speech, and, it's just, you're not a Christian, you shouldn't speak hate, and hate speech, and whatever, all the things that you get. And I'm sure over time that I will learn more by experiencing this more and more, because I'm not going to move. I'm going to stand right where I am, and I'm going to grow in that. And I don't care if people don't like it. That's just how it is. If the Bible says it, and this is the way we go, and this is, we're going to stand on that, Not going to move just because people don't like it. You know, murder is murder. If you kill your child in the womb, you know, you're a murderer. That's not to say that you can't be forgiven, but that's murder. And you have murder in your heart if you think it's okay to murder an innocent child that hasn't, you know, that just because you went out whoring, you know, which is mostly the case because feminists wanted to become sluts. Oh, you can't say that apparently in our days, but that's the truth. We're teaching our children, our young people, to become sluts and whores. And they become pregnant, and that was the whole feminist agenda, to make sluts. To, you know, to just go out and have fun and drink and party and, you know, and get out in the workforce as well, and don't become a mother, you know, and don't stay at home because, oh, that's bad apparently, to be the nourishing feminine energy in the family, you know. Oh, no. So now we are all sick. A lot of us are sick because we don't have a wife anymore that can cook, you know, and it takes time to make good food. It's a whole job in itself. Now, of course, there's a lot of things that made it easier for women in these days, you know, inventions in regards of cleaning things and all that. All these things became a lot easier for women to actually use more time on other things like their children. Anyway, I'm getting off topic and I should stop it. But anyway, if anyone has some more information of the cunning ways of the Catholics, just write it down there if you have a good source about it. If anyone sees it anyway, you know, has not that many actually seeing my video. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, you know, try, you know, if you just reach one person, you know, that's worth it. You know, even if you get a lot of things deleted, as I get a lot of things deleted, you know, if just one picks up on it and begins to research for himself and look into the things, that's worth it. That's absolutely worth it. That's worth the time. Even if you use hours and hours and hours, if just one person begins to research and begins to find out something is not right and begins to go the direction, it's worth it. It's worth hundreds of hours. Just one person, it's just worth it. If you can save just one soul by using hundreds of hours, just one person, it's worth it. You know, soul, you know, it's just, yeah, it's worth it to save one soul. Yeah. So again, it's again thinking about it, it's not really a loss when you actually lose something because people have seen it, and there might be that one, you know, one person, who knows, maybe more. It might seed the seed to begin to research the things and, you know, begin to make waves in the world, in this satanic world, and begin to, you know, you don't know. So, but again, I guess but anyway, I have this place to go to, of course. I was actually invited to talk to a Jesuit as well that knew Greek and Hebrew, because I talked with some of these Catholics, one of the places that was kicked out from and all that. I've pretty much got them out of the bushes and they were speaking, their mouth was running, it was just very nice. And sadly I didn't get to make a video and it was deleted, but you know, the information was served on a platter for everybody to see that what I was talking about was true, and they were exposing themselves really. So I guess that's probably the reason why Satan ended up getting it deleted. But anyway, have a good one, all of you. Just wanted to make a little but I guess, you know, a little here and a little there. Hopefully just more people will you know, get started, and yeah, read the Bible. That's a good place to start, to begin to read the Bible, to actually know what, because a lot of the lies can be rejected by just knowing the Bible. You know, for example, in regards of satanic evolution, just pretty much just read the first page, the second page. The first page and the second page doesn't have evolution in it. So either the Bible is true or it is not. If you can't trust the two first pages, why trust everything, or why trust anything else in the Bible? So the question is the Bible true when you read that God created everything in 6 days and rested on the seventh day? The question is that true? for around 6,000 years ago? Or is evolution true? And if evolution is not true, and it actually verifies what the Bible says, you have a choice. You have a life, you have time to check things. Use it wisely. Have a good one, all of you, and may Jehovah bless you, and may Yeshua be a precious pearl and keep a hold on it and never release it. And may the Spirit of truth, the Spirit of the gods, Jehovah, Father and Son, be in us all, and let us stand for truth instead of all these lies in this wicked world. Have a good one, all of you.